Dad hopped in the hopper. So yeah, Dad is standing in the grain tank here because we have to take the extensions off of the hopper in order to fit this thing in the shop. So Dad's in here taking it all apart. I'm observing, of course, and learning lots, which I love. Shout out to Dad. But yeah, this is the process in order to get it in the shop. We cannot do it from inside the cab, click of a button. It has to be done this way.
Yeah, now I remember.
That's how you do that. The antenna is just a little bit too tall. Testing out the new camera mounts. So excited to use these in the field soon. Let's show you guys the internals of the combine. Super excited. Changing concaves, getting ready for beans.
Yeah, this should be a fun clip. See, it's gonna come easy. Oh, look at that. Well, that's how they're supposed to come, but sometimes they get built up with stuff.
So you want me to help you with that?
Nope.
Okay.
Just need to get myself turned and balanced.
That's the large wire. Small wire.
This is generally for small grain.
What I found last year running this in beans with green pods, did a much better job of threshing.
This one.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we'll start the season this way. You typically can do it with the one we just took out. But in the early season part here with some of the green beans we got this year, late ones, we're going to start out with this. Like I said, if we end up switching to corn for some reason before we're done with beans, I have to take this one out and put that other one back in.
Right. Okay.
And then if it's going good, we might just leave it in for beans. But we'll determine that when we get that far.
So it's been a shop day. It's raining outside, drizzling just a little bit. We're hoping to start beans soon, within the next couple days. But just getting everything set here. These are the shields I'll be removing, and then I can show you the rotor and like up close of what we were just doing. This one's a little bit harder to get at, just with the angle, like getting it out, but I'll show you here. All right, time to show you guys the internals of the combine. I just wanted to kind of give anybody who's interested the rundown on the internals of the combine. No, I don't know everything, but there's just a couple fun things, fun facts I figured I'd share in the video since we're getting ready for beans. And it's been a shop day with Dad since it's raining. Hopefully we'll start beans soon here though, within the next couple days. So yeah, first what he did was take out the concaves. They're technically called modules. They can be, there's like right, left, you know, which side they have to be on, but they're interchangeable. This is the feeder house. So when the head's on, this is where the beans or corn, but in our case today, the beans, are gonna shoot up into the feeder house first here, and then kind of follow with me. It's underneath the cab right there yet. And then now we're way over here. And this right here is, so after the feeder house, it's gonna come in to the rotor. And the rotor here is the silver piece in the back here that's turning constantly, the sharp momentum, I guess, that it has going on. The concaves here, this is a small wire. We could use a large wire, and we have used a large wire, but we actually did a small wire for to start with beans this year, because a lot of the beans are very spotty. They have a lot of pods, like green spots yet. So it's just gonna help with that. We started off last year with the large wire, and we put the right side with the small wire here, and Dad really liked that. So it works for us, but everybody has their own, you know, the conditions of every field are so different, every farm. So anyways, that's what that's about. The large wire is here. And so this is where actually the front too is where most of the threshing is happening. The small wire is a 1/4 inch spacing, and the large wire is 3/4 inch spacing. I might have to turn the flash on here. Alrighty, so that's way better with the flash. This is, yeah, the small wire, large wire. The rotor's in the back there. That's the thing you can't really see. The beans are gonna fall on this pan or this plate here, and this pan moves back and forth constantly, and it shifts the grain, the corn or beans or whatever we're doing, onto the sieves over here, which is right here. That is the pre-sieve, and then I can show you in the back, but those are upper and lower sieves. We can't see the lower, but first it's gonna fall to the pre-sieve and then go to the upper and lower, just with the breakdown of everything. Any material that's not the actual kernel is gonna be floating through the combine and out the back is our plan, is our hope, because that's the trash. So the front two do a lot of the threshing, then the back two, that's a 4-piece on each side, but the back two are gonna do a bunch of the separation, like the separating process. The separation grates right here. So the front two concaves and back two separation grates. A little bit more on how the concaves work, the adjustments in the cab. They'll go closer to the rotor or farther away, just with what grain you're using or what grain you're dealing with. Too much material, all that plays factor into the adjustments. So the concaves are actually moving closer or farther away to the actual rotor.
This side's got a round bar I put up front when we were doing the wet corn. This one's got this drying line a little bit in the way.
So what are you trying to do there?
Trying to pry it a little bit so I get the bolt out. There's holes here too that we can stick a punch in for prying purposes. Perfect.
Sweet.
A lot of buildup on there from the wet corn, so that makes it a little tight. This is called hairpinning when these, where they punch these holes through these plates and run these bars through. And then stuff likes to get caught in those. I make sure everything's good and clean. So we got flat mounting surfaces. See, this is where the adjustment takes place. This rod turns, this shaft turns, pulls on these links and pulls this up or brings it down. So it doesn't bring it down evenly from both sides, it brings it down from one side. 0 is when this hits these bolts. And then these are almost touching, but not only at one point. They have one point that's a pinch point. side went in really nice.
Right. These are supposed to be pushed in a little bit more. Because on this side, not even in the hole. That's why we were having trouble getting it out. It's learning day.
There's tension on there, and they're tapered on this end, so it's easy to pound them through because you pound them through that way.
Drive shaft for the feeder house. Kinda in the way there, Dad, huh?
See, I didn't have that bar in the way on the other side.
What bar?
This bar.
Oh,
So my long punch wasn't an issue.
right.
Unless we have some really weird trouble in corn, we should not take this one back out again.
So last year we started with large wire on both sides, right? And then you
we
switched
had all
to
large
small
wire, and then I went and bought that small wire because we were having so many
green
pods,
pods.
and tough threshing on separating those or threshing them out, and that seemed to make a difference. Usually when you get to later season beans, later in the season, that should work fine.
The upper and lower sieves. This is the chaffer, is technically what it's called, but it's the upper sieve, and you can adjust it. And then they have a lower sieve, which is called the shoe, but in the cab it's listed as upper and lower sieve, and you can't actually see the lower right now. The chaffer, the sieves here, kind of up and down, and that's gonna determine, you know, how much return you're getting. Like I said, I'm not no pro, but learning every day, and yeah, just kind of the inside scoop. Wait. Pun intended, inside scoop of the combine. Trying to get inside of it here. But yeah, hopefully you learned something or can relate to something. There's the drive shaft for the feeder house. Unloading auger chains. These are the unload auger traps you can open for getting the moisture. This can change the speed of the chopper. Here's where you can adjust the knives. So adjusting the knives for the chopper. The rotor range will be in second for beans, and the range will be in 1 for corn. Here are the spreaders in the back. Adjustments are made for if you want a windrow, as you're combining, just a row, windrow, or if you want it to be spread out with the spreaders here. Just so massive back here. I know I'm still learning and will forever be learning, so. So the right side, fun fact, the grain's gonna go to this side first. So that's the one we changed. We didn't actually put a small wire in on the other side, the left side. So just this front right one is the one that we made the small wire. The round wire was for high moisture corn. And yeah, it's just way different depending on what crop you're doing and what time of year and everything. Few more details. Upper sieve, and then it goes to the lower sieve, which we can't really see, and it actually flows back to the center of the combine, and then it goes to the grain elevator. The grain elevator. So this is how the corn or beans, the grain, whatever you're doing, goes up into the hopper. It's 400, it's supposed to be 400 bushel hopper up there. But in order to get, you know, just the grain up there, any returns are gonna go into this tri-sweep, it's called. It has like 3 sections to really beat up anything that's tossed in here, to really beat up again, like break open pods. Sometimes if we get a bunch of pods in here, it'll break it up, and then it actually tosses it back onto the sieves and like tries the whole process again before it actually goes up the elevator into the grain tank. So yeah, that probably was a bunch of confusing stuff, but it's just a really cool process. Like, I just think the whole concept is really cool, and I love learning about it. And I'm not a pro, but that's just kind of basics, I guess. Some of the internals that's going on. There we go. See you in the next video. Hopefully doing beans.